Hello, Sumeti. Welcome back to my channel. So this is a continuation of how to make an over bust cupped corset with busk in front. So if you've not seen the part 1 and part 2 of this video, you'll not understand the part 3 is very detailed and very beginners friendly. So go and watch the part 1 and 2 because we'll be starting from where we stopped and we'll be starting by fixing the bra cup in this video. Then we'll go ahead and install the busk. So let's get started. So here we are. So we are going to be fixing the cup like this. So can you see? So after fixing the cup now, we'll go ahead to install the busk before we continue. So I'll be placing my cup like this. Remember that we added half an inch on the upper part. You can see that the half an inch is still here. So I'll place it equal like this on the side. So I'll go ahead to pin it round. So you can see that the thing is fitting in properly because it is equal. So from the beginning of when I was drafting this thing, adding those half inch, if you notice, I made use of my measuring tape. I did not just assume. Do you understand? Because this is corset. If you don't take accurate measurements, your work might not come out neat. So that's why, especially when I'm working with corset and I have to add my allowances for my joining, I'm always using my measuring tape. It takes a lot of time, but I'm always using my tape to be on the safer side. So I've gone ahead to pin it round. Can you see? So the next thing, I will just go ahead and sew it round. So I'll just be sewing a tiny part of the main bra cup. Do you understand? I'll be sewing a very small part of it with the fabric. So as you're sewing, you'll be arranging it beneath to make sure that it is smooth and relaxed, so that some parts will not be packing. Because if any part is packing, it means you are going to lose that area and resew it, and that's double work. So as you're sewing it, you'll be spreading the bottom of it like I'm doing. You can see what I'm doing with my hand. I'm spreading it like that. So you can see. Can you see it? So the next part now, I will have to iron all this place, iron it neatly. So can you see how nice it is? Can you see how neatly done the cup is? So we've done this part like this. I will bring the lining part and show us how we're going to do the lining part. So here is the lining part. Same way we fix the cup on the main fabric now, we'll be fixing this material on it like this also, but this one is going to be kind of easier to do. So make sure you always pin first, especially if you're sewing the cup area, because you have to make sure that you arrange everything appropriately. You arrange everything correctly. Everything is fitting. Every part is fitting in correctly before you go ahead to start sewing. So you can see what I'm doing. can see that the excess from this lining is much. The excess from it is so much. So what we are going to do, we are going to hold it at the side a bit. So you see this part, I'm going to still take in, and this other edge too, I'm still going to take in, right, so that it can fit in properly. So you have to blend it. On the other side, I will do the same thing. Trim up the excess. Can you see now? So I'll just go ahead and run it half an inch. So have you seen it? I'll go off camera to do the rest. Do you get? You know, I've joined the one for the lining, I've joined the one for the main fabric. So I will go off the camera, join the other lining, join the other fabric. Then we will now go to the next step. So the next part now is to attach our boning, but I'll be putting my boning to the lining. I don't want the boning on the fabric, you get? So for the front pattern, I made 6 boning total for the front pattern. It means 3 will be in one part, then 3 will be in the other part. So when you're cutting your boning, you can see that I've attached the cup part to it, right? So when you are cutting your boning, make sure it is shorter at the hem with half an inch, right? Make sure it's shorter with half an inch, or probably 3/4, because I'll be turning the hem with bias. Do you get? So I feel 3/4 will be much better. So but make sure it is shorter, either with half an inch at the hem, either with half an inch or 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just trimming a bit. I'll go ahead and trim like 1/4 from it, so I can have like 3/4. Then when I'm turning with my bias now, my machine will not be climbing on the boning. Hope you understand. So this is the front pattern. I want the boning on the lining. I don't want any boning sewing on the fabric. So this is what I have. Like I said, I'm attaching boning to the 3 parts of it. So for this part that we have the 3 complete, I will sort this one out. This part that we have the 3 complete. Let me see if you can see me what I'm showing. Okay. This part where we have the 3 complete, you can see my tape. I will use the tape to cover the edges like this, right? Like this. Because the edges, it used to loose. So you have to tape it down so that it doesn't lose further. So for both the front and back, all the bonings I'll be attaching, this is how I'll be covering all the edges. So I'll go ahead and cover, because I'm working with 10 pieces of boning in total. So I'll go ahead and cover everything off camera. Like you see me do this one, is exactly what I'm doing and nothing more. So I'll go ahead and cover everything. Then after covering, we can now go to the sewing machine and sew the boning together. So this is what I have. So can you see? So I arrange them according to how I cut. Do you get? So we'll be using half an inch to turn with the lining. Then the busk will also come in. Hope you know that. So that's why I'm giving enough allowance at this side, like 1 inch or probably 1 1/4. So you just give much allowance as possible at this side, even 2 inches, so that by the time you turn your this lining with the main fabric and we put our busk also, we will still have space, like we'll not be running on top of the boning. So I'll go ahead and just attach all the bonings like this. So don't forget, I'm sewing my boning to my lining because I don't want it on the fabric. So can you see? This is how I'm going to go ahead to attach all the boning. This is the right side. You can see how neatly done it is, right? So this is how I'll go ahead to attach all the boning. Don't forget, I'm using 3 for each side. It depends on you. You can use more than that. It is not compulsory that you must use 3 bonings. Do you get? The more boning you have, the more structure you get also. So please, if you have enough boning, you can add more boning to your own. It must not be the number of bonings I'm adding. Do you get? So can you see? So I will just go ahead and do the rest off camera, then trim off the thread that is pulling from the door face. So this is it. You can see how neatly done it is. So I'll go and do the rest, then we'll go to the next step. So now I've gone ahead to attach the boning to the back. This is one part of the back side. So the both side of the back, I've attached boning to it. I told you I'm attaching two, which made a total of 4. So this is the back side and the boning already attached. So the next thing now is the front pattern. See, this is the front part. Like I was showing us earlier, this is how I attached the boning. 3, total of 6 for the front pattern. So the next thing we'll be doing now is how to put our busk. We have to install the busk before we go ahead to turn the main fabric with the lining. So now you can see that part of the busk, one side has hook. Now this hook part is where will be on our right side. It's going to be on the right hand side of the corset. So what I will do now is, this is it. Then this part, forget the stain, I'm going to wash it off. So like this, this is the right side, this is the right hand side for the corset. So it means this one that has the hook is going to be on this right hand side, and it's going to be facing the other side like this. So this is how we're going to be wearing it on it. Can you see? So first of all, we're working with this part. So let me put it this way so that we can see properly. So what we're going to do, the first thing you have to do now is to remove the 1/2 inch you'll be joining with. Okay, I should be doing that on the lining. So like I was saying, I will go ahead and this part is where we'll be marking on. So like this now, we'll come down by 1/2 inch like this, because the bust will be starting from there. It will be starting from after the 1/2 inch. That's where it will be starting like this, right? So now we'll measure 1/2 inch that we use in joining the both fabric together. You know, I will join it together like this. So I'll go ahead and measure 1/2 inch on the lining. So now we've marked the 1/2 inch across. You can see how it is. We've marked the 1/2 inch across, and this is what we are going to be having like this. So the next point now is, okay, now after marking this 1/2 inch, now how if we bring this one, if we bring this one on it like this, and we just run a straight line down, if we do it like that, please take note of this part. If we just run this straight line down, how are these things going to come out? Do you understand? So we have to create an opening for the hook. So the next step now is creating an opening for the hook. So what I will be doing now is I will go ahead and mark where the hook will be passing through, starting from this 1/2 inch upwards, right? It has, please make sure it has to start from this 1/2 inch. So now what I will do is I will mark where the hook will be passing through like this. Hope you understand. Make sure it is accurate. I will mark it like this, like this, like this. Then just until I finished marking everywhere that the hook will be passing through. So where we are going to be sewing now, can you see? You see the way I marked it? Now I don't know, okay, what we are going to be doing where we'll be sewing will not just sew the straight line down. Do you understand? So now, starting from this 1/2 inch upwards, we'll be starting our stitches from here. We'll stitch from here to this place and stop. We'll tighten it. We'll come here. We'll stitch from here to this place. We'll tighten it. We'll come here. We'll stitch from here to here. Because we're not stitching this opening. If we stitch this opening, there will be no place for our hook to pass through. So when you sew from here to here, you skip this opening, because this is where our hook will be passing through. Do you understand? So when you sew from here to here, you do your tightening. You will skip to this part. Then you sew from here to here. You do your tightening. Then you skip this opening where the hook will be passing through. You will stitch again to this part. You will skip. That's how we're going to do it. So now let's go to the machine and get that done before we now go to the next phase. So we are here now, and I hope you can actually see what I'm doing properly. So what I'm going to do now is you can pin it so that it will be very stable. Just hold a few places down with a pin like this. Then you go ahead, because of this cup part is pushing. So now I will run my stitch like this, straight to this part. I will stop here, because from here to here is where the hook is passing through. You understand? The hook is passing through this place, so I don't have to close this place. So my stitches will be stopping here. I will do my tightening. Can you see? So my tightening stopped here. This is where my tightening has stopped. So I'm skipping from here to here. I will jump to this point and stitch to this place. So that's how I will continue doing it until I'm done. So when you're starting another stitch, make sure you tighten too. You tighten from the beginning. You also tighten at the end of the stitch. So you can see how I'm jumping it. This in between, I'm not sewing it. So I jump to the next line like this. Do my tightening. I will sew it to this point again. Then you see, then I'm jumping here to here again. Do you understand? Then this is how I'll continue sewing it until I'm done with everything. So can you see how I'm doing it? It's as simple as that. We are just creating a space for the hook to pass through. I don't know why this my doll face is bringing so much thread. Sure. So we'll be stitching the last part now, and we're done with this. Can you see? So like this now we're done. I'll just trim off the thread. You see? Can you see? So we'll be going back to the table. So I've gone ahead to do that. You can see what we've just done. We stitch from here to this point. We skip this middle, stitch like this, skip here, stitch and skip, which is the part that this thing we're pointing. So I went ahead to press this place down. Do you get? So like this now, we've already turned this center with the lining like this. So now how do we have to now pass the hook through it. We have to pass the hook through it. So this is what we'll be doing. Okay. Can you see? So it's going to go in like this. Now you can see that the hook is coming in between this space that we left. So this is how we'll be passing it. Can you see? You can see what we've done. So I'll just go ahead and push everything out. I think I should use my pin to pin the side down. Can you see? You can see the hole we created. So everything has been pushed to the other side, right? Now we are done fixing the attaching the hook part. Now we have to put this other part. So now you can see how this thing is, and the hook is closer to this other part. Now this line that this thing is closer to is where we'll be at the edge like this. Do you understand? So the next thing now, we'll be wearing this one on it like this, right? So the next thing we have to do now is to create a point. Like we will have to be marking. I will have to be marking again with my pencil, but this time it's going to be on the main fabric. It's not going to be on the lining because it is the main fabric that this part will pop up through. Like this part now, this is where we'll punch the hole in, then it will come out through it. So how do you get that done? We have to place this one on it like this. Make sure they are equal. Make sure you are placing them equally, right? So now you'll be placing it like this. That's right after you've marked your half an inch, or probably we should just go ahead and do our half an inch joining allowance before we punch the hole. I think that would be better. So I'll just go to the sewing machine. And join this one together with half an inch. Then I'll come back. We'll now go to the next stage. Let me just quickly go ahead and join this part, like the lining and the material. Let me just join it together, then I'll come back. Then we'll go to the next phase. So you can see I've gone ahead to join it together with half an inch. So I'll turn it to the right side like this. So let me go off camera and iron it. I'll iron both edges neatly. Then we'll come back to the next phase because this phase has to relax very well.
So the video is already getting too long at this point, so we'll continue from this part in the last video I will upload about the series. And I hope you're not confused at this point. Just drop a comment for me and tell me what you feel about this video. If you find it helpful, please leave a review for me. Thank you very much. So see you in the final part of the video.